Minecraft has had many structures over the years, and whilst most of them are still in the game, not all of them made it, like the glass tower. Still can't believe they got rid of that. But what if some of those structures still didn't make it and were still removed, but then in the next update from now, they got re-added with newer designs? And also, what if this redesigning was done by me, because unfortunately that's kind of important to this too. So, since it was the first structure added, I suppose I should begin this with the starting house, which was first added on the 24th of January 2010, initially looking like this, but it went through quite a few design changes until ultimately being removed just over a month later on the 27th of February 2010. So to start off, just like any good builder does, I put in random shapes and hope they look good, but not that tower. That was very intentional. I specifically wanted it because, well, like, it's cool. Now I unfortunately unpurpled it and added in texturing, then a little pond, and what texturing? I don't recall any texturing on this build. I'm just adding some leaves to make it look overgrown, since this is, was the first structure ever added to Minecraft. So, you know, to go along with the oldness of it, I made it have a little drippy gradient because well, I think that might happen, realistically. I don't know, it just seemed like a good thing to add. But those blocks specifically were chosen for actually smart reasons, because, you see, I wanted it to look a bit bricky, but not too much. So I added the different big brick blocks, but I also wanted tough, because it, like, perfectly looks like manky weathered rocks. And, well, more importantly, these blocks are a gradient, so that too, I guess. But now for the interior, yay, I'm so good at those. So first I did texturing, but then stood doing absolutely nothing for an awkward amount of time. When I started actually doing stuff, I tried to make this room be kinda living room-like, with that generic stuff I added there, and tried to make this room more kitchen-y, but, you know, not just for food. Like, other stuff was cooked here because it's like anvil. And I considered adding rubble in that corner where the roof's caved in, but it looked bad, so I didn't. And now we get a decently nice view of the whole build while I just add some finishing touches. And now we get to have a little look around it. So first I suppose I should show you inside, which is like this, and you couldn't see in the time-lapse, so I have an arm stand here. But you may have noticed that this ceiling's all like that because, you know, grass above it and I wanted to cover it up. But in this ceiling, it's not like that. But you see, I made it that way because it would just kind of look bad since there's no center point there. And also this way there isn't one. Whoops. Oh, and also this way, I'm too lazy to add one now, but anyway, it looks better with cobwebs up there. But also in this room is the bedroom. Well, bed. And I didn't put it upstairs where it probably should be, because if we go up here, you'll see that I made this more like a, well, garden-y room, since it's like a patch of grass out here, so it makes a little bit of sense. I also added this window here, like, literally 5 minutes ago, and that makes it look like a little bit better. And I think like the loot inside this could probably look something like this, just with a few less items in the chest, of course. And don't harm me for this, but the underside of the roof that does not have stairs like that. But hear me out though, it's just better like this though, because I could fit in much more leaves and also a few cobwebs, so like it does look better like this. And over here, I added some loot right at the top here, could look something like this. But then down here at the bottom, I added a lodestone because I wanted to put one of these somewhere in the building, and this room made the most sense to me. Now you may notice that it's all crumbled and stuff, but there's no rubble around it. And yeah, you'd be right, and that is a bit weird. But I didn't add the rubble because I'd be the one making it, so it'll just kind of look bad, you know? Now, the next structure I'll be reimagining is what I believe to be the biggest structure ever, and possibly my favourite removed structure, the brick pyramid, which was added in the same version that removed the starting house on the 27th of February 2010, but was then removed exactly a month later on the 27th of March. Now, these were added because, at the time, there was actually no way of crafting bricks, so the pyramid was the only way to naturally get them, but if you found one, luckily you wouldn't be running out out of bricks anytime soon, since it's made of roughly 344,000 brick blocks. Now, for the brick pyramid, whilst I could try to make the exterior look all nice and fancy, I just prefer it being completely this. But since it being entirely like that would be very, very boring for the video and the exact same as the removed version, I'm adding an interior. But for the interior, I wanted to keep the completely everything made out of bricks aesthetic. No idea why, because I forgot, but it's probably something laziness related. But to try and make this interior more interesting, I made it quotation marks back rooms like, by just adding really random rooms and just, yeah, I know this isn't very good, but like there's also flooded areas underneath a certain Y level. That's something. I also forgot to record most of this though, so that's great. Wait, actually it is though, because then the interior there in a surprise, and ooh, how interesting. Also, I don't have to come up with things to say during all of it. So now it's time for the tour of this pyramid, which, wow, I did not realise how big it looks from down here. Anyway, if we go right to the top, we can jump all the way down to the insides. Wow, I did not realise how dark it was without night vision. Okay, to be honest, I don't really know how to do this tour, since I've added quite a bit since you last saw, and, well, I'm not sure really how to go through it, so here's a little montage of it all. I wish I could say the actual reasons for all of these, like, this actually is representative of the this and the that. But no, I just randomly made these up as I went along. Now, this next structure is a bit different to all the others that I've done so far, since it's really just an unintentional world generation bug, which only occurred when a specific number for the world generation was negative, I think, which caused Monolith to generate, which could have generated infinitely tall, but were stopped by the height limit. These were accidentally added on the 11th of June 2010, and were removed in version Alpha V 1.2.0, also known as the Halloween update, on the 30th of October 2010. But there's a slight problem with it actually, because I have genuinely no idea what to add to this. Well, actually I do have ideas, just they all suck. So wow, look at that. Monolith. I hope you enjoyed those little facts. If anyone's imaginative, please tell me in the comments and give me ideas. I'd like to finish this. So the structure I'll actually be doing now was actually exclusive to two specific Minecraft editions, which were Pocket Edition and Pi Edition. This structure was added as a solution to these editions not containing the nether in V0.5.0 alpha on the 15th of November 2012, and was eventually removed on the 29th of July 2015 in V0.12.1 alpha, when it became kinda useless after the nether was added. Although it did have an exclusive block that's completely removed now, which was glowing obsidian. But now finally I'm building the nether spire, and this is going to be a bit similar to the massive portal from the Minecraft movie, because, well, big portal. But I still want it to be mostly like the actual nether spire, just a tad bigger, which is why I started out by adding that twisty path, since the original had something similar-ish. So of course I copied it, not like in a bad way though. I'm supposed to be kind of copying it, but since it can't just be the path and the portal, I suppose I should add a bunch of netherrack around it to make it theme like an actual spire. So for the design of this netherrack bit, I used this advanced technique called place blocks kinda randomly, but not in that one strip there, because I'm gonna do a thingy there. But I didn't realise past me added the lava this early. It was supposed to be a surprise. Now this is a little known fact, but the nether spire was actually added before the nether update. It was unfortunately unfortunately unable to use these lovely new nether blocks and biomes that we have now, but since I am building this now-ish, I'm adding those basalt delta areas around because I wanted to feature some more nether biomes than just the wastes. Since I want it to look like the spires infecting the overworld, which I was supposed to say earlier, whoopsies, I'm trying to make the bits bordering like the overworld grass look a little bit veiny and infection-y. This is all kind of like Minecraft Legends, to be honest, if anyone remembers that. I mean, I'm assuming I haven't played it, who have. So now I'm adding the Crimson Forests to the Crimson Forest areas, and lava, because you know that's very nethery, but something a tad less nethery are vein-looking parts on the spire, which I added because I thought they'd look cool, and wahoo, they do. So I've just added a few finishing touches since the time-lapse, like these ores, and like the stuff in here. Have beacons always done that? Like, at the top? They probably have, haven't they? I just haven't made a beacon in years. And I can't think of anything else to say. So, if you enjoyed this, you could like and even watch this video where, instead of revamping old structures, I designed some completely new biomes for Minecraft.